What up everyone, it's your man Xman87 here, bringing you another G.I. Joe Classified video, and what I have for you today is the G.I. Joe Classified Series Cobra Fireteam 788 3-pack action figure review. Before we get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up, like rating on the video, it'll help show your support for my channel and I greatly appreciate it. Since I reviewed the His Tank, I might as well review its add-on content too. Now I'd like to point out how I love that this box matches the design of the His Tank box. Doesn't align a mural or anything, but it's a dope visual for an in-box display. Anyways, with that said, let's go! Alright, so we're going to go in order as the way they appear in the box from left to right. So this is the Hiss officer, and it's the same as the Cobra officer as you see here. But you got the thematic Fireteam 788 colors with the black, the red, and the grays. So it looks really good in these colors. I love black and red. It's like my favorite color combo. And one thing I found that's really cool, and hopefully my camera focuses clearly so you could see it, and the logo right here on his deltoid shows Sempus Fidelis Serpents. So Sempus Fidelis means always faithful. And this is the same logo that matches what's on the His Tank box, and that's really cool. And it's also on the box of this Fireteam 3-pack. And now let's get this guy fully geared up so we can go over his accessories. Let's put on his helmet, and it's a dope design. Again, same colors, but I like that it has a 788 logo right there on the side of the helmet. That's pretty dope. He's got his sidearm, and you could just store that into his holster right there. His knife, which you can just put into his sheath, but man, this is way too small of a knife for that long ass sheath. Because they definitely gave him the wrong knife. If you look at the Cobra officer right here, that's the knife he's supposed to have. I don't know why they gave him this small knife. He's got his rifle with a removable mag. And on the back of the belt, there's this slot for his mag, so you could just slide it there. Unfortunately, the rifle has no scope, which means you're not going to store anything in there. It's just going to stay empty, because if you remember from the last Cobra officer, that slot was reserved for the detachable scope for his AR, so yeah, that's gonna suck. They could have given us something to fill in that slot, because now that it's empty, it's just gonna drive my OCD nuts. He has a holster for his rifle, which you could just store in there and also attach it onto his back. Then lastly, he has this sort of tactical SMG with a scope on it, and it also has a removable mag. Articulation is the same as the Cobra officer, so you already know what to expect with this guy. And next up is the Hiss Range Viper. It's the same as this Range Viper right here, just in the 788 colors. And I didn't get a chance to review this guy this year, but man, this has to be one of the best G.I. Joe figures this year, right? I mean, he just looks so badass. Again, you get the 788 themed colors here, and you know what? It reminds me of the Range Viper that came out back in the year 2000. But it was called the Rock Viper at that time for some reason. But it was the Range Viper redecoed in these kind of colors. The gray, black, and red. So I feel like this could probably pass as that too. I just was not feeling that white helmet. But hopefully we get some of the original Rock Vipers in the line. And my god, this guy just looks so good in this deco. And since I didn't get to review the original Range Viper this year, I'm glad I'm making up for it right now in this set. So I'm definitely taking a closer look at him. And yo, this helmet is so sick. I love his helmet. It's very cyberpunkish, you know what I mean? I really like that vibe I'm getting here. Since I mentioned Cyber, man, the Cyber Vipers from the Pursuit of Cobra line would be awesome to have, especially if they make them come with the mech. Oh, that would be crazy. Definitely do not want the Cyber Vipers from the 90s, because that was just a gross color scheme. It looked like someone had boogers hanging out while having a nosebleed. Ugh, it was just a terrible color combo. Anyways, I'm sidetracking right here. But yeah, this helmet or mask, whatever you want to call it, is just badass with the brains exposed like that. And then you have the backpack that has the tube connected to it. That's really cool. And it's not going to hinder articulation in any way, however you move it. I like the backpack here, but I wish they painted this part in red, like how the regular one has it in blue. So if it was in red, that would have been a lot better in, you know, just to add a little more color to it. But I like how the regular one has like a scanner reading right there. This one doesn't have it. You got his bullet bandolier, you get the reds, you got his bandana right there, which is also removable. And also on this arm, same thing, you get that design that says Semper Fidelis Serpents. That looks so good. And then on the other side, 788. This guy is pinless, unlike the other two figures in this set. And I just love the grays, the black, and the reds all around. This is so good. You know what? He really, color-wise, he does match more of his tactician, if anything. So you probably could give him the alternate hands, those power punching gloves, because in this set, none of them have alternate hands. So I'm actually going to try that out and swap it and see how it looks. I'm just worried about these wrist cuffs, if they'll block it. So I'll be back, going to heat it up and try it out.
A few moments later.
So I ended up swapping hands with his tactician, and it works. As you can see, the color tone matches, so it's a perfect fit. And yeah, you just gotta heat it up, and it looks good. Gives you more options to play with since these guys don't have alternate hands. And I'm just happy it works, because I was just worried about this wristband right here, or the watch or whatever. Well, now it doesn't want to pop out, but you know, I was worried it wasn't gonna fit, because the issue was with the control panel on the other figures. It would rub against it, but right here there's enough room and you don't have to worry about any paint rub. Also notice he has his serpent logo on his vest, so that's pretty cool too. Yeah, this guy's freaking impressive. I love the way he came out. And there are some of his thigh holster straps, and you know, some nice details there. Knee pads, boots. He's got a great sculpt. For accessories, he's got his sidearm, which you could just store in his holster right there. He also comes with a sai, which you can also store right there on the side. He comes with one rifle, and it does have a removable ammo round. Is there a specific name for this? The kind of mag that has the bullets hanging out? If so, let me know in the comments. Then lastly, you gotta have his signature grenade launcher, and I really like how the rounds, you can spin them, so that's pretty cool. And for articulation, this guy's got range. Ha! See what I did there? But his head can move that far up and that far down. Good movement, you know? Swivels left and right. Double ball peg at the neck, so you can rotate him and pivot him nicely. It's one thing I love about the Joe line. And then his arms can move. Oh, let me take off this backpack. It's just easier to maneuver the figure that way. His arms can move up slightly higher than a straight T pose, right? Yeah, you get a little more range up there. Butterfly joints that move that far forward and that far back, so good. And then you got the bicep swivel. You got the double jointed pinless elbows. Again, good range there. I'm not using it fully. There we go. And then wrist swivel. Traditional hinge on the left. And then he's got the vertical hinge on the right. Ab crunch, so he could move that far forward and that far back. And he's got a ball joint at the waist, so you know, you could utilize that range, rocking it around, pivoting it, whatever you want to do with it. And then drop down hip mechanics. His legs can move about that far apart, moves about that far up, that far back. Legs can rock around. You got the thigh swivel, double jointed knees, heel to the butt. Hell yeah, good range right there. And then you got the boot swivel, and the ankles move up, down, and they can rock around. Next up is the Cobra Hiss Infantry, and you know, same thing as the last Cobra Infantry and the, what was it, the Cobra Trooper, the Target exclusive one. Just, again, same thematic Hiss team colors, and it looks really good. Also, I'd like to point out that the tactical vest is different. 788 right there on his helmet, and without the helmet, it still looks cool with that red on there. That's nice. And I noticed he doesn't have the serpent logos like the other ones, so they should have put it like right there on the torso. I feel like that would have been a perfect spot for it, because it's open space. So they left this guy without a logo. I do like that vest. It's nice. Again, you got that nice black, red, and gray color combo, which looks really nice on this guy. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, I tried out the goggles from the Cobra Trooper Target exclusive figure onto this guy, and he looks even more badass with the whole black and red getup. It just looks so much better. Kind of wish these were included in the set now. Would have had all of mine look like this. For accessories, he comes with 4 individual missiles, which can store into this backpack right here. And you could just plug it onto his back like so. Then he has this bazooka right here in a gray and red deco. I like the functionalities on this, as you have this knob right here at the end, the butt of it. You could just twisted. I don't know the specific name for that, but I do like the missiles, how you can just store them in there like that. So nice play feature right there. And you could also store the bazooka right at the bottom of the backpack, so that way he can, you know, walk around with his bazooka. One thing I will say is that one of my packs had a warped bazooka. Like, how the hell does that happen? And the backpack right here was warped off to the side, so if I put a missile there, it's just gonna warp. Yeah, I could heat it up and fix it, but that's not the point here. The point is, I just hope the G.I. Joe team can make vast improvements to stop the warping issues, because there's some weapons in this pack that was warped and they were just crammed in. And yeah, a lot of like the range viper size, the range rifle right there, which got like whiskey dick, you know what I mean? Like, they got areas of opportunity to work on to make the quality better. So if there's one thing that bothers me more than anything in this line, is the gummy quality in some of their accessories. Not all, some are sturdy, but, you know, when you have a bazooka that's warping, that's an issue, man. A bazooka shouldn't be warped like this. I just want harder and sturdier weapons. Not going to go over articulation with this guy. We know how it works, so we're just going to get into the additional accessories, which are the effects. First up, you get two blue muzzle effects, about the same size, one slightly bigger than the other. A little bit different in the shape. Then you have another blue muzzle effect, which is like a multi-bullet effect. Then you get a smoke effect, which is painted. I prefer it to be translucent, like the Marvel Legends kind, and not painted. It just gives more of that illusion. But it looks like it has hair strands, and it makes it look like it's one big hairball. Then you have all these different types of muzzle effects, which you can create your own effect combination, which is pretty cool. And remember in my His Tank review, if you saw, because I was disappointed that the His Tank didn't come with any blast effects, but since these are the same effects that come with the Viper 3-pack, I used those effects to plug it into one of the turrets so that you can at least have an effect there. So I'm just going to take these few round ones and put them together, because if we're going to create an effect for this Gatling gun, it has to have a roundish kind of radius, right? Because, I mean, it's going circular and it's going to spray and spread. So, yeah, there you go. You want to sell that illusion and it's bouncing off the Gatling gun that way. And I forgot to mention in my His Tank review that the Gatling gun right here does have handlebars for the gunner to hold. Then lastly, this is my favorite. It's the missile launching projectiles, and you get a smaller one and a larger one. You've seen this. It came with scrap iron to plug into his little drone, and this is just great. So I'm just going to take a rocket right here and then plug it in at the tip right there, and then you could just plug the end part into the bazooka like that. This is sick. I love this. And when they first revealed scrap iron, I remember them showing how the projectile missile effect was compatible with bazooka. And yeah, even though you had to buy two different figures to make this effect happen, instead of just including it all in one figure, man, it's still worth it. I love when they make figures that are compatible with each other, because it just makes you revisit the figure, therefore increasing further replay value. The G.I. Joe team just knows how to add high play value to their figures, and this right here is proof. Now for some quick comparisons, here's the Hiss officer next to the Cobra officer. I just noticed the forearms are different when I said it was just a straight up repaint earlier, so my bad. Here is the Hiss range viper next to the regular range viper. Here is the Hiss infantry next to the Cobra infantry. Lastly, here is a look at your Hiss team all together, as we have this new 788 fire team next to the Hiss tactician, driver, and gunner. And now to wrap things up, my final rating, I'm going high with this one, 8.75 out of 10. My Hiss battalion now runs deep with this add-on purchase. For Hiss Tank owners like myself, you're going to find this to be quite the add-on, as this special 3-pack will complement the tank if you want to build on that battalion. Even for non-Hiss Tank owners, if you just love army building and bolstering your Cobra ranks, then this will be a welcomed addition. This is the first of some future add-on products for the Hiss Tank, as we have the SMS coming up. And like I said in my Hiss Tank review, it'll be an ongoing investment and become the gift that keeps on giving, increasing replay value for at least a 1-year cycle. You get a buttload of accessories here, from weapons to effects, like the blue muzzle spray effects to give some of your weapons a sort of pulse rifle look, like how the cartoons had blue and red lasers. If that was their intention, then it's a sweet callback. Other muzzle effects to go with your His tank Gatling guns. I love the missile effects from Scrap Iron repackaged here, but I would have also loved large blast effects to fit on the big cannons of the His tank. Huge missed opportunity there, but maybe they have other plans for that, so let's see how things play out. My only gripe in this set was some of the weapons being warped, and I know I've heard Lenny say back at San Diego Comic-Con that he hates it's an issue and he's going to do what he can to improve the quality. That means a lot as it shows he cares, so hopefully we don't have to wait too long to see those corrective actions take place. As always, I want more extra hands to be included, but I know they are slowly improving that release by release in the line. For now, you can swap with any extra hands you have laying around from your His tank figures, and also alternate heads with different skin tones for the officer and infantry would have been nice too. Other than that, for $79.99, this is not that bad. $25 a figure and $5 more for the extras. Some say it should have been included in the tank to begin with, but that would have upped the price to $400, so that would have made it more difficult to army build, and I think it's just easier to army build these as exactly how they come. The figures are cool. You get Range Viper, who is one of the best figures in the Joe line this year, but I could have done without one of the officers to put a female His trooper in here instead to be the His tank gunner's equivalent. All in all, I love army building, and this set looks amazing with my His tank as it further accessorizes it and also further enhances the replay value for the tank. That's the main draw and attraction. Now I'm kicking it back to you. What do you think of this 788 Fireteam 3-pack? Are you copying or are you passing? And what are some ideas you have for future His tank add-ons? Comment below, let me know, we'll chat about it. Thanks for watching another G.I. Joe Classified Series video. Please follow me on Instagram if you haven't already at xman87. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my latest videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. See you on the next video. Peace.